a finger down if you work in data. Put a finger down if you've lost count of how many AI-powered data tools you've come across this year. Put a finger down if you're not even sure of which of these AI tools you should be using. Trust me, we've all been there. We're in an AI age, and so everywhere we turn, there is an AI tool. Almost all our BI tools have AI integrations. There are a couple of tests to SQL tools and a lot more. So which ones should you actually be using? Honestly, it depends. It depends on the kind of problems you're trying to solve, your budget, the size of your team, the maturity of your team, and even your spark. At Database Tycoon, we are constantly using and reviewing different AI-powered data tools, and these are the ones we highly recommend. Number one is Claude. I know. We all use Claude to write emails, proofread our Slack messages. Maybe you even use it to debug errors in your codes. All of these are surface level, and that's not why it's on the list. Claude has something called MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. Basically, this allows you to connect Claude to the tools you already use. For example, instead of copying and pasting your schema into a Claude chat box for you to get an answer to an error or get an insight from your data, you could just connect Claude directly to your data source, your document, giving it all the context it needs to help you answer the questions that you have. Think about what that changes for you. You're not asking a generic question and hoping that Claude guesses what the right table is. You're giving it actual lineage, documentation, sources, and so that way you can almost trust the answers that you get out of Claude when you ask it questions about this data. For data teams, this matters because the biggest risk we have with AI is about the accuracy of the data, the insight we receive back. And one way to solve that problem is to give AI enough context to give you the right answers. And so when you leverage the MCP layer within Claude, you can connect it directly to where your context is and you'll be getting the right answers. Next up is Now. Now is a text to SQL tool. Many tools can convert your text to SQL, but the question is, do these tools understand and respect your context? And are there security concerns when they connect to your data? The Now app runs locally on your computer and connects directly to your data warehouse, not to the Now server. So if you're concerned about security when trying to connect to these AI tools, Now is that tool for you. With Now, your stakeholders can just ask a question in natural language and it gives them the insight from your data without any analyst or anybody really having to crunch some numbers and do long calculations and queries before you get that answer. You should definitely be using Now. Number 3 is Omni. And yes, it's a BI tool, the one you know. But I want to zoom in on the AI part of Omni. Omni's AI agent is called Blobby and it sits on top of the Omni semantic layer. Yeah, that same layer that already defines your dimensions, your joins for everyday use. Blobby AI is reading from the same governed definitions that your reports already use. Now, the feature that actually makes this very reliable is what we call the AI context. AI context allows you to attach very explicit instruction directly to a field, a data set, or globally across your whole model. Things like what a field means, when a metric should be used or shouldn't be used, what not to confuse it with, the right tables to use for a particular kind of calculation. This is where it gets interesting. Omni can expose this governed context through an MCP server, so tools like Claude, ChatGPT can query your data directly, and the answers still mirrors the same business logic and permission that Omni already enforces. That way, your team can stay in the tools you already use and your data stays governed. Before I go on, you would notice that one thing with all of the tools I've mentioned is that you have to give the right context for you to get accurate answers. So with all of the data AI tools or AI-powered data tools, how efficiently and accurately the results you get out of them are depends on the richness of the context that you give to these AI tools. For the fourth one, we have Metaplane, and this one is about data observability. Metaplane sits on top of your data warehouse and pipelines and watches for anomalies. Things like a table that suddenly stopped updating, a column full of nulls that used to be full of values before, a row count that dropped overnight for no reason. With Metaplane, you get an alert the moment something looks wrong. Now you might be wondering, isn't that what DBT tests are for? And the honest answer is sort of, but they solve different problems. DBT tests checks the things that you thought to check for. Observability tools like Metaplane catches the things that you didn't even think to test for because they are watching the anomalies and the drifts automatically, not just running the checks that you've written in advance. Do you get the difference? Now, these tools work better together, not as a replacement of each other. Think of Metaplane as that your early warning system for the stuff you didn't even know to check for. Last on the list is brand new, and it comes from a name that every analytics engineer already know about: DBT Wizard. DBT just launched DBT Wizard, and this one is worth paying attention to. DBT Wizard is grounded in your actual project, so it reads your tests, your contracts, your semantic models. So it's not guessing how your tables relate. It already knows. Think of the difference between an agent that walks every street in the city to figure out the layout and an agent that already has the map. This matters because generic coding agents would happily write you an SQL code that looks completely reasonable, but it might still get your grain wrong, or it will break down a downstream model because it didn't know that that metric was already defined somewhere else. DBT Wizard is built to actually avoid something like this because it validates changes against your project's actual structure before you ever see the difference. As with DBT Core and DBT Cloud, you can either use it in the Studio IDE or on your command line interface. It's currently in public beta though, so it's not fully mature, so you should still review everything it generates before you ship. So that's the list. Claude for everyday thinking, connected to the context that actually matters. Now for fast, privacy-aware SQL. Omni for self-serve, leveraging the AI content within it. Metaplane for data observability and catching breakages that you didn't even think to check for. And DBT Wizard for keeping your project honest as it grows. Let me know in the comment section which one you're going to try out first. And if you're not sure of where to start, you don't have to figure it out alone. At Database Tycoon, we live inside these tools for our clients every day. So if you've got a data problem, you can hit us up via the contact form on our website, find us on LinkedIn, or email us at info@databasetycoon.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.